Good morning, everyone. My name is Crystal. Welcome to my YouTube channel. It is Thursday. It's Thursday morning. I'm here in my flat in Rochester. Good morning. It feels warm in here. It just feels really, really warm. So I think it's going to reach about 21 degrees today. It's not going to be tremendously hot, but inside my flat it feels like a sauna still. So I got up at 7:20 because Alexa wakes me up at 7:20, and I just feel like sweaty and hot already, but we'll see what happens during the day. So good morning, everybody. Thursday morning. Last night I took Max out for a walk. I told you, homeless people on the field. There was one woman wandering around like a zombie, like she was on drugs, going around just bending down, picking things up off the grass. I walked past her, and I walked past the two grey tents outside the Mercedes-Benz building, and I took my dog for a walk. So the homeless people are back, but different ones. Not totally different ones. Different to the last lot. Came home, and then it's like relaxing for the evening, finding something to do, like watching a Netflix film, listening to music, listening to the radio, just keeping myself occupied at night because I live by myself. I didn't do any live streaming last night. It's getting silly. So I won't be doing any live streaming this morning. It's just unreal, like it's all orchestrated. I blocked a bully, and the crap seems to have stopped where people are coming in and saying silly things. So it was just dead yesterday in my live streams because I blocked the trouble, you see. I blocked it. I had about 4 or 5 people coming in saying nasty things, and it does affect your mental health. However you try to laugh and joke nasty comments off or laugh and joke about it, it still has an effect on your mental health. It does. However hard you try to stop it, it has an effect. So it upset me, and it really upset me, because I blocked one, in came the same person as another profile, and then they did about 4 times, and they were coming into my live stream trying to turn the people in the live stream that were being nice to me against me. And now you've got to be careful about that, because you've got to protect the other people in your live stream from bullies. So I blocked it all, blocked them all, but then it goes dead, and people are put off coming into your live stream because bullies keep coming in and talking to them, and turning them against you, you see. So yesterday the live stream was dead, and I mean there was hardly anybody in there at all, and I thought, right, that's it. So I didn't live stream in the evening. It's either that or it's guys saying they're from Uganda wanting to come over to this country, and can I pay their ticket? And one of them asked me that in the live stream yesterday. Can you help me out? Can you get me a ticket over here? I said, no, I can't. So it's full of that as well. So basically I've got games I play on my phone to take up a bit of time, like Scrabble, and I just chill out and make myself a cup of tea, have a few snacks, spent some time with my pets, you know, and that's it really. But my live stream was probably full of trolls because I blocked them all. And they gift you as well. Some of them give you gifts that hate you, because they can come up, it comes up on the screen, and they like you to shout out when they've given you a gift, and they put a hateful name up there, you know, like I can't describe it, but they put something where they want you to shout out they've given you a gift, and they've put something like stupid bitch, and you know, they want you to say stupid bitch gave you this. Do you know what I mean? So I'm getting fed up with that, just getting fed up with it, because that's not nice, is it? It's not very nice at all. So there was that, and I just felt tired, and I just went to bed. I just had enough yesterday, and I was so tired. Anything that was going on, I just ignored it, and I just went to bed. I just didn't take any notice of it. I was just so tired last night, emotionally tired rather than physically tired, trying to fight off people and just being nasty to me. I told you I went out last night and I had to walk past homeless people all over the bench, making noises, rude noises. It's not nice. To me it's staged, I'm sorry, but all this homeless, the homeless people abusing me, making noises, laughing at me, that's all staged, it's orchestrated. I had an ex that was friends with all the homeless and the drunks. He used to invite the homeless back to his flat, and on one occasion one of the homeless people was in his flat on drugs, and he'd invited him in and left me in the room with a drug addict who was a violent drug addict. So it's got to be either my ex doing this, that used to live in Chatham, or it's that Charlie that I turned down. I said, no, I don't want to be with you, no. It's one of them, because this is drug addicts and alcoholics being nasty to me on the field. It's got to be. And then when one lot go, another lot appear, which will be a police investigation if it keeps happening. I'm not inviting homeless people back to my flat. No, because Charlie's girlfriend told me a story about Charlie. Yeah, she said Charlie had invited people back to her flat, homeless people, and they'd stolen her property and sold it for drugs and trashed the flat up. Trashed it up. So no, I'm not inviting the homeless people into my flat or giving them money to buy drugs and drink. I mean, I don't mind getting them a coffee or buying them a sandwich, but they're not getting money off of me because it goes straight away on drugs and alcohol. It does, guys. It does. It goes on alcohol and drugs, and they steal your belongings to sell. So it's not me being mean. When you do give to homeless people, I mean, it's difficult to know whether they're scammers or genuine. It is. So if you're not sure, just give them food. Don't give them money. Genuine homeless will be grateful for food items of clothing, right? They'll be grateful for it. A scammer will get cross when you don't give them any money, right? There are some violent beggars out there. I have one in Chatham. I actually didn't have any money on me at all. It was one of the months where I was struggling myself, and this beggar came up to me and went, "Can I have some money, please?" I said, "I haven't got any." "Oh, you look like you've got money." I went, "No, I haven't. I'm sorry. I don't always carry money with me. A lot of people don't. They just have their cards and they haven't got cash." And he was getting aggressive and violent. And Billy the Quid, a well-known beggar, when I first came down to Chatham in 2008, Billy the Quid, well-known beggar in Chatham, yeah, he appears friendly and all that, but when I first moved down to Chatham in 2008, Billy the Quid was walking down along the Luton Road and he grabbed my arm. And at that time, I didn't know who Billy the Quid was. And he grabbed my arm and he went, "Have you got some money?" I went, "No, I haven't." And he grabbed me. That was in 2008. And Billy the Quid is still begging now. He's been in prison and everything. Billy the Quid has been in prison. And he's still begging along Chatham now. He's been begging for years and he's been in prison and he's just got older and he's grey now. That's all he's ever done is beg down Chatham High Street. He used to beg outside the NatWest Bank. I think he got the name Billy the Quid because he used to say, have you got a pound, have you got a quid, have you got a pound, have you got a quid? So they named him Billy the Quid. I don't know what he's charging now, whether it's £5 or £10, but in 2008 it was, you got a quid, you got a pound, you got a quid. Of course, if everybody gives somebody a pound, there's hundreds of people, isn't there? But he used to be quite aggressive. I don't think he is now. At one time he was aggressive. I lived in Chatham since 2008, so I know. So yeah, I went to bed early. I've got up at 7:20. I sort my pets out, make myself a cup of tea, wake myself up, then I take Max for a walk, basically. It does feel hot. Yeah, so every day is relatively the same. It seems like it's stage theatrics. I'm not actually meeting real people. So how can you meet a future partner if these people I'm meeting, in quotes, aren't real people? They're put there. It's got to be an ex. It's got to be somebody that doesn't want me to move on with somebody else and is sending these vile people to make me feel afraid to go outside. Somebody that wants me to run to them when I feel like I'm in trouble or something, or I feel scared. But I'm just carrying on. Alexa, good morning.
Good morning. On this day in 1897, Amelia Earhart was born, the first woman to fly solo across the Atlantic. She celebrated her legendary 2,048-mile flight in style, with a cup of cocoa, because champagne may be classy, but it's cold up there in the clouds.
Alexa, what's the time, please?
It's 7:50 a.m.
Alexa, what's the date today?
It's Thursday, the 24th of July.
Alexa, what's the weather outlook?
In Rochester, It's 17 degrees Celsius with mostly cloudy skies. Today, you can expect showers, with a high of 21 degrees and a low of 14 degrees.
Alexa, can you tell me a joke?
How is a horse like a pig's foot? They're both trotters.
Alexa, which celebrities were born on this day?
Celebrities born on the 24th of July include Amelia Earhart, Jennifer Lopez, Elliot Rodger, Rose Byrne, and Nayib Bukele.
Alexa, how old is Jennifer Lopez?
Jennifer Lopez is 56 years old.
So I'm the same age as Jennifer Lopez, and someone called me old, so Jennifer Lopez must be old as well. Jennifer Lopez is 56. Someone called me an old lady, so Jennifer Lopez must be an old lady as well. Well, Alexa, how old is Kylie Minogue?
Kylie Minogue is 57 years old.
Kylie Minogue is older than me. She's 57 and she's still dancing and singing. Kylie Minogue. Well, guys, I hope you all have a great Thursday. It's bin day here. I expect the bin men to be along soon, clanking about with the bin carts and all that. I am, like I said, I take each day as it comes. I've got to take the dog for a walk. It looks like it's going to be a dull and dreary day, with chance of showers. Alexa, LBC Radio.
LBC London from Global Player.
Industrial strategy will cut the energy costs of car-making factories, fan-making factories in the UK. We've got a lot of money to partner with industry on new models being manufactured here. We also, of course, have got that export quota for the US, better terms than anywhere else in the world around that. But it's the biggest thing. Automotive is a jewel in the crown of advanced manufacturing in the UK. It's a big part of our export, so it is quite rightly a priority. But the reason it's a priority is exactly the pressures you've outlined there in terms of that announcement today.
As it is being reported that the Prime Minister is considering recognising the state of Palestine, is that something you would support?
Yes, we are deeply committed to the recognition of Palestine as a state. That was part of our manifesto, but obviously, Nick, we want that to be meaningful. Now, at the minute, there is not a Palestinian state there. There is not a political agreement between the two principal Palestinian territories in the West Bank and Gaza. We have taken other steps in relation to the intolerable situation in Gaza. We've obviously sanctioned two Israeli cabinet ministers. I myself have ended arms exports to Israel that could be used in the conflict in Gaza. We've ended our talks with Israel on a more enhanced trade agreement and trade relationship. So we have taken those immediate steps, and we do want to see Palestine recognised. I want that to be meaningful. I want that to be working with partners, other countries around the world, so we can come on the programme and say it is part of a genuine move towards a two-state solution and a long-term peace settlement in the Middle East.
All right, lastly, hopefully your team might have made you aware of what's the front page of one of the newspapers this morning, the Daily Mail, although this is not your area. Some of your colleagues, but they have reported that the Aspen cards that are provided to asylum seekers while their cases are heard, that provide for £49.18, meant to pay for clothes or footwear or foodstuffs, are actually being used to gamble. This will be closed presumably overnight, will it? You just lock those cards down only to provide for food and clothing and other matters?
Absolutely. So it's already forbidden. It shouldn't happen. We've seen that story. There's an immediate investigation underway in relation to it. You shouldn't be able to use Aspen cards for this. The support for asylum seekers in the UK is I mean, it's not a lot of money. It's about £7 a day, I think, for essentials, but you should be using that for essentials. You shouldn't be able to use it for this. So it's very concerning. It shouldn't happen. There's an immediate investigation to find out exactly what has gone on here.
Congratulations again to you and the team for pulling off this Indian deal. Sounds very positive news. Thank you for joining us from Oxford. Secretary of State for Business and Trade, Jonathan Reynolds. 5 minutes before 8 is the time. Who's been hanging on the line? Mandy and Dulwich. Mandy, you're on the radio. Let's talk about those protests. What do you think is the problem?
Well, basically, the problem is, Nick, and and it's a big problem. When you're actually a citizen here, you know, you're a British citizen,
Yes.
and you're not getting these types of, you know, special privileges, you are going to get resentment. I mean,
Sorry,
look,
when you
we've got
say
the
special
pension.
privileges, I just expand
Well,
on
you're
that.
being put up in five-star hotels and things like this.
Right.
And basically, we're not thinking about the basics here. We've got pensioners who are retired, who are not working, who are getting taxed. You've got the people that are disabilities, going to be disability cuts in the future. They're not going to be getting the same amount as the ones now. You've got the homeless who are being moved, especially in London. A lot of them are being moved out of homeless people that are British. They are being moved out of London because they said, oh, we haven't got the housing for them. Away from their families, isolated with children. A lot of them are single parents as well. And, you know, all these things are adding up, aren't
Of course,
they?
yes,
And
there is undoubtedly a lot of unrest out there.
40 or 50 years in this country. And they're getting their pension taxed at the end of it.
Yes.
And then you've got these people I'm not saying nothing against them, to be quite honest. You know, no disrespect to them. I think it's the government's problem. You know, it's their fault, and they're not sorting it. And that's why there's a lot of resentment.
But what is the way to sort it, lastly, Mandy?
Sorry?
What is the solution, Mandy?
Well, the government, like this gentleman said before, a lot of people have actually said it, because I do listen to your programme, to put them into like Germany does. I think Germany puts them in a camp, and then they assess them properly. They find out if they've got the doctors there to find out if they've got any diseases that are bringing into the country. We don't know. And also, they assess them to see what their mental health's like, because there's a lot of people who are sick, aren't there?
Well, there are, and there are a lot of people who aren't. And there are people who have, of course, valid reason to be in this country. And I do think, Mandy, in a way, you've put your finger on part of the problem, which is the length of time it takes to assess these cases. I've shared with you so many times, in Italy, the average time is 8 months. In France, it's 12. In the United Kingdom, it's 18 months. And that's average. Some people's cases have gone on for years. And I think that fuels the anger. Mandy, thank you. Rajvinder in Gloucester. Rajvinder, you want to talk about Essex Police. Good morning.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that what the police did is absolutely correct, keeping both parties away.
Well, why did they deny it then, Rajvinder?
Because when there's security services doing undercover work to protect our country, they're not going to announce that.
It's not undercover,
And the only reason they denied it, they had to deny it just trying to keep people from kicking off, like your last caller.
Rajvinder, how is deploying perhaps dozens of officers to do what's called a foot cordon, how is that undercover work?
The reason they're denying it is to stop people from getting irate about it. I mean, all this talk about
So we're lied to, are we?
I don't think they meant to lie. I think what they meant to do is just trying to diffuse it by not answering it in the correct way. So yes, they didn't tell the truth of what they're doing, but they don't need to justify what they do, should they?
Rajvinder, that just fuels people's anger, doesn't it? We can't decide to not be truthful because it involves...
It's fueling people's anger.
By not being truthful. Pardon?
But Nick, all the people on benefits, they spend their money on gambling. Are you telling me your callers who are on ESA, who are on PIP, are not going buying lottery cards, are not buying cigarettes and alcohol? Everything the foreigners do will be wrong. If they don't work, they're wrong. If they're doing Deliveroo, they're wrong.
Well,
who doesn't want a better life?
I know, but you don't want to, as LBC revealed yesterday, you don't want someone posing as a woman on Deliveroo, do you? And he's a man.
Absolutely, but you know what? Why are they doing it? They do it because they want to earn money.
Right.
And there's people who are sat here. I'm British, and there's people who are born here who've never done a day's work.
Yes, I agree. And that story, and I'm thankful because you remind us that we have to move on, and that is the story that we will be dealing with next. Rajvinder, thank you. The music means we must move on. This idea that people here, asylum seekers, while they await, of course, their verdict, are gambling away taxpayer cash. Government Minister Jonathan Reynolds.
you should be using that for essentials. You shouldn't be able to use it for this. So it's very concerning. It shouldn't happen. There's an immediate investigation to find out exactly what has gone on here.
Why was an Marks and Spencer's Marks and Sparks advert deemed irresponsible and has been banned? And what is the secret behind Weatherspoons as they become Weather Booms and promise to add another 30 stores over the next 12 months? Those stories and more follow the 8 o'clock news on LBC.
On your radio, on the LBC app, and
Play LBC.
leading Britain's conversation. This is LBC.
From Global's newsroom at 8 o'clock, an announcement on new restrictions on anti-migrant protests in Epping is expected from Essex Police. Forces can use a range of powers to restrict the time and location of demonstrations to prevent disruption. It follows officers' rejection of claims they bussed in counter-protesters to an asylum hotel. LBC's Shivani Sharma has more details.
The police have introduced a dispersal order, which means that from this afternoon, they can force individuals suspected of antisocial behaviour to move out of the area. LBC also understands the force will be making more arrests if people repeatedly refuse to remove face coverings, with an announcement on a toughening up of tactics expected later today.
The Prime Minister has told LBC that a free trade deal with India is a big win for the UK. Sir Keir Starmer, who's written an exclusive LBC opinion piece for the LBC app, is due to sign the agreement later this morning. His Indian counterpart, Narendra Modi, is on a 2-day visit to Britain. The Business Secretary, Jonathan Reynolds, has told Nick it's a historic pact.
It is the biggest deal the UK has done since Brexit, and it's the best deal India has ever offered anybody else. And I would say to people, I know a lot of trade is often discussed around Brexit. We're improving that relationship with the EU, we're doing it with the US, we're doing deals like this with India. And I genuinely believe everybody should welcome this and get behind it. It's a really good day for the UK.
NHS England says patients should continue to use the health service in the usual way during a strike by resident doctors. A 5-day walkout over pay is due to begin at 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. The British Medical Association says the business-as-usual approach will put patient safety at risk. The White House has rejected fresh claims that Donald Trump's name is among hundreds in the Jeffrey Epstein files. Mr. Trump's Attorney General reportedly told him he appeared multiple times in documents related to the late paedophile financier. The administration says that is fake news. And world champion Spain have set up a meeting with England in the Euro 2025 final on Sunday. They beat Germany 1-0 last night with the deciding goal in the 113th minute. In the city, the FTSE 100's reopening at 90.61 after closing up 37 yesterday. The pound buys $1.35 and a euro 15. LBC weather, dry with sunny spells for many places except some showers in the east of England, a high of 24 degrees. From Global's newsroom for LBC, I'm Thomas Watt.
Wondering what to give us kids at snack time? Well,